No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikund, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
But if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees.
Welcome. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. I'm Shrishti Sharma, and with me, as always, is Cheryl D'Souza. And Cheryl, although the markets have come off from the day's highest points, but it looks like it's going to be a positive expiry.
Absolutely. If you look at the way how the markets are trading in today's session, we did hit that record high levels once again, coming in for the Nifty at open. But from there on, we've given up a tad bit of gains, but nothing to complain about, isn't it? Because you have the markets at record high levels once again. So you have Nifty comfortably above the 18,800 mark as we speak. Sensex has scaled that 63,350 mark. It was inching towards that 63,400 mark as well. And you have Nifty Bank that is moving a tad bit lower compared to the benchmark indices, but in the positive territory as we speak. Let's take a look at the list of the gainers at this juncture on the Nifty. If you look at what's ruling the charts on the Nifty this morning is Hindalco. That's the one that's the top gainer on the Nifty with gains of upwards of about 3%. You have TCS, Tech Mahindra, HCL Tech, all of them that are in focus. They're seeing a sharp up move in trade today, and add to that even Infosys. But on the losing side, you have Bajaj Auto. That's the one that is actually declining the most on the Nifty. At open, it saw a downtick of approximately 3%, and this because Bajaj Auto's numbers for the month of November have missed estimates. It's come at 3.06 lakh units versus the estimates of 3.45 lakh units. But you'll have Shrishti talk more on the auto sector. But let's talk about Cipla, UPL, HUL. All of them are declining in today's trading session. Let's take a look at what the sectoral indices is doing as of at this juncture. So you have FMCG that's declining by 0.5%. You have auto index that is also seeing some sort of a decline. Also pharma also is looking tad bit weak. But on the gaining side, well, you have the IT sector. That is the top gainer in today's trading session. IT sectors are seeing gains of about 2.5% as we speak, 2.4% to be very precise. And you've seen the likes of HCL Tech, TCS, Infosys, all of them the top Nifty gainers as well. And metal index also is holding on to strong gains in today's trading session. So Shrishti, as of now, this is the way how the markets are looking like. But yes, today is going to be an extremely hectic day for you because it's the first of the month. You have the auto sales coming out and you track the sector very closely. No doubt, Bajaj Auto's numbers were not in line with what the estimates were expecting. We see all what's happened to the stock price. Escorts came out with their numbers as well. But on the whole, what should we expect from the auto sector in the month gone by?
Okay, so Cheryl, let me just give the exact number to the viewers when it comes to the Bajaj Auto and Escorts number, and also the commentary that we are getting. So firstly, on Bajaj Auto, like Cheryl highlighted, that the company did miss its estimates, but this time around the domestic didn't perform that better like we were expecting, and on the other hand, the exports were just flat. The reaction you can easily see on the stock price of the numbers coming in, but on the other hand, Escorts has surprised a bit, because after the festive season, we were expecting a bit of a decline in the in comparison to the normal sales data, and this time around, the company has surprised in terms of the November sales. The sales number came in close to 8,000 of units versus our expectation of 7,300 of units. So that's the picture coming in. But other than that, in the month gone by, what we have seen is that the dispatching is something and the destocking is something that would have played the role, because after the festive season, that is something that now in the last month of the calendar year, the companies will try to get rid of their inventories that is already piled up, and that is something that would have an impact in the November sales data as well. And overall, like passenger vehicle, we all know that the premium segment demand has been holding up, so a single-digit decline is what we were expecting. In the commercial vehicle segment, interest rates are on the rise, and that is something a bit concerning for the industry, is what the experts are highlighting. But other than that, if we see the demand trend overall since the start of this year, that has been on the upside, and a mild single to double-digit decline is what we were expecting in the numbers. In the two-wheeler segment, the trend is shaping up that the urban demand is actually moving strongly ahead in comparison to the rural sales data, and not just that, if we see the motorcycles, that is lagging behind the segmental performance of the scooters. But on the back of this, we were expecting a double-digit decline in all the sales data for the month of November for all the major OEMs, and in the tractors, we'll be waiting out for M&M numbers as well. We are expecting a sales number of close to 28,000 of units. Let's see how the company performs like Escorts. We'll wait by and see if M&M also outperforms our expectations. So that is the picture and the factors that did play in the month of November, Cheryl, but a lot of points to be highlighted, whether going forward the demand is expected to hold strong, because now the festive season sales is already done for the sector, and the interest rates are also on the rise. So will that have an impact on the sector? These are the questions we're going to be asking.
And these are the questions that we'll actually pose to our analysts today. We have Kunal Bothra as well as Ashish Maheshwari joining us this morning. Very good morning to you, Kunal, as well as Ashish. Thank you so much for joining us. And actually, Shrishti asked you the question directly, Ashish. Will this demand momentum sustain going ahead? We know that there was a bump up because of the festive season as well. But do you think this demand will continue going ahead for the auto sector? A bright spot indeed to look at even for the coming year?
Yes, I agree here. In my view, instead of two-wheeler companies, these tractor companies will continue to do well. First of all, this good set of numbers from Escort shows that because there's a good sowing and record sowing in acreage area, if you see in Rabi crop this time, and water reservoirs are full in almost all part of the country so far. So this will result into softening of commodity prices too, and in turn, tractor demand will go up. Again, in Escorts, they have given almost 900 tractor sales up from November 21 to November 22. This is really a very encouraging set of numbers from Escorts. And after this change of management, where Kubota is also playing an active role, and in smaller horsepower tractor, demand is again pretty good in northern part of country. So my view is quite bullish on Escorts as well as in tractor industry. I am expecting same set of good numbers from Mahindra and Mahindra also. But in this sector, my number one pick is going to be Maruti. I'm expecting very good numbers from Maruti in this particular month. Year over year, I'm expecting almost 30,000 vehicles rise in Maruti sales this time, from 1.38 to almost 1.68 lakhs unit. And along with this, TVS Motor will also come out with very good set of numbers because of premium positioning of their product, and EV, their Q bike, which is also getting very good traction in southern part of country. So Maruti, TVS and Escorts are going to be my top three picks in this particular sector.
That's the fundamental take coming in on the sector and the stock Ashish is liking. But Kunal, if we see on a YTD basis, Nifty Auto is actually up 18%, but from March lows, the sector is up close to 40%. But if someone has to play the auto theme now, which one stock is looking attractive to you?
So I would believe Tata Motors is the stock which looks attractive to me on the current levels of the charts. The stock has formed a classical breakout, or is on the verge of a classical breakout. In technical parlance, we call it as an Ichimoku pattern breakout for Tata Motors, and the stock is very close towards breaking this level. 445 is the level for Tata Motors, and whenever the stock closes above this level, historically, looking at the reference points, it indicates that the stock would be on the verge of at least a 10 to 15% kind of a moderate rally. Sometimes the rally is more into a multi-month perspective, but even if you consider it as a more of a short-term rally, we can expect at least a 10 to 15% upside for Tata Motors. So that's the stock which I would eye from the auto pack.
Right. So Ichimoku pattern is what you've said for Tata Motors. Kunal, are you giving a hint as what you're going to talk about in this Pathshala segment that is going to be coming up tomorrow? Because but I believe we've spoken about Ichimoku pattern, right? Isn't it?
Yes.
You will want to recap it this time around or no?
Yeah, let's see. Something interesting.
Something interesting. So there you go, viewers. Don't forget that tomorrow we will be having the BNSN Pathshala segment where something interesting will be coming your way from Kunal Bothra. But for now, Shrishti, I believe we have to go slip into a break, isn't it?
Well, yes, absolutely. And just a reminder, viewers, get ready because just after this quick break, we'll be taking up your stock queries. So stay tuned.
Powered by ArcelorMittal.
Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
But if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now, the show where we take up all your stock-related queries and get them answered by our experts. But before we move on to the queries, let me bring on board Ashish. And Ashish, record high levels day after day coming in for the benchmark indices. But how can retail investors make sure that they protect the wealth that they have actually created?
Yes, this is very important when market is touching new highs. And I have found that most of the time investors get stuck in a small cap and penny kind of stocks, particularly the retail traders or investors, and they get stuck. So first of all, my view is that you should not try to buy stocks which are touching everyday 52-week high, because at all highs there's some distribution of profit taking take place, and generally I have seen that investor buy the stock when it is at 52-week high, and they get stuck with particular those stocks. So until unless you find value in a particular stock and you can continue to remain invested with a certain time frame of horizon, I think you should not enter into a small cap and penny cap. Besides this, I'll still strongly recommend that you should invest mostly in the top stocks, because if you might have seen, this rally is primarily in indices-based stocks only, and this will continue in this way because only institution buyers, like they are being aggressively buying these particular stocks, and they are still offloading a small cap and mid cap because there are some pressures related to margins and sales growth, etc., which may not be there in large cap ones. So be it IT or metal or pharma or cement, try to be with top rung stocks only, where you will get gradual appreciation, but at the same time downside will be also limited.
That's some pertinent points coming in on how one can actually make sure that they protect their wealth. But let's move on and let's bring on board your queries then. Remember, viewers, that we are live on YouTube, Facebook, as well as on Twitter. You can write into us on those social media platforms, or also you can write into us on our WhatsApp number, which is flashing on the top of the screen. Do remember to mention your name, the stock name that you're looking to invest in. If you've already invested, mention the quantity and the buy price, as well as the time horizon that you're looking to keep this investment. And if you're looking to enter fresh, also mention your time horizon. But with that, let me kickstart with the first query. And this one is coming from Swayam. And Swayam wants a view on Zee Media. Kunal, he's holding about 5,000 shares at a price of 18 rupees per share. He wants a one-year view, and what sort of an exit point should he look at this particular counter? What's your view?
So I think investing at 5,000, at almost 18 rupees or 20 rupees, and the stock is now almost at 14.5 or 15 rupees. I would not expect any major up move into the stock in the near term. I think it makes a lot of sense to switch your holdings from Zee Media to the parent company, that's Zee Entertainment. That makes a lot of sense, because if there is any major recovery in the media sector, then I think Zee Entertainment would be one of the most beneficiary stocks in that regard. So I would suggest a switch from Zee Media towards the larger company, that's Zee Entertainment.
Okay, the next question coming in from Harish, and Kunal, he wants to know from you that he's holding Vishnu Chemicals at a price of 2,030 rupees, but now the stock is at close to 1,600 of rupees. What he should be doing right now, because he's looking to switch into Thermax, but he wants to know that will that be a good bet to book losses here and try to recover that from Thermax?
See, actually most of the chemical stocks in the last 2 months, I think, have gone through a very sharp correction. Now even the same is what you can attribute for Vishnu Chemicals. There has been more of high volume selling in the first half of this selling for these chemical stocks, and somehow these stocks are now going into a very quiet phase of consolidation. So it's very difficult to anticipate that whether the entire selling is over for these stocks or whether there is more correction on the downside. So I would suggest that as of now you can just wait out, maybe keep a stop loss of closer to 1,500 or 1,485. That would be a stop loss for Vishnu Chemicals, and if that stock triggers the lower end of the stop loss, then you can look to exit the stock. But yes, shifting towards Thermax could also be a good bet from a short to medium term play, even if you're looking to switch at current levels, or if Vishnu Chemicals drops down.
All right, the next one is coming from Vishal, and Vishal is saying that he has 50,000 rupees to invest and wants to spread it between 1 to 2 large, mid and small cap names for a long-term perspective. Vishal is writing to us from Dubai. Ashish, which are the stocks that Vishal can look at investing in for the longer term? He's saying that he has a corpus of around 50,000 rupees right now.
Okay, so for 50,000 rupees, I'll suggest couple of stocks only, because amount is small, so you can't, have 4 or 5 stocks. So my first stock for you will be Jindal Steel and Power. You can buy this stock because, again, we have seen traction coming in steel stocks, and this is a stock which will continue to do well because they have both steel and decent power also capacity. Besides this, another stock which I like is Majgaon Dock Shipbuilders Limited. My view is this stock even has a potential to give you 50% kind of upside from here in next 1 year. So Jindal Steel and Majgaon are going to be your portfolio picks for 1 to 3 years time frame.
Okay, the next question coming in from Shivasri, and Ashish, he's holding PNB shares since 2020 at an average price of 54 rupees 50 paisa, and even after holding for so long, he's still in mild losses. But recently, the stock has shown some stellar moves. What's the expectation going ahead, and should he continue to hold on?
Yes, my suggestion will be to remain invested. Because worst is over now for PNB as such, and we have seen the kind of momentum in other stocks also. This is in PSU pack number 2, if you ask me, after SBI is PNB only. And only the problem is that this stock is into future and options, and continuously it goes into when as soon as it opens out. So a lot of appetite is there in the stock. That is why traders are taking big call on PNB, and my target for next 1 year is around 80 rupees for PNB. So in fact, those investors who want to buy any PSU banking stock, PNB is pick number 1.
All right, the next query that I have is coming in from Manish Raju. Kunal, this one is for you. He wants your view on realty sector. He's saying that he has seen you recommend Oberoi Realty and DLF both in the first trades. So he wants to know about Lodha and Rustomjee. He's already holding both of these counters at an 8% loss totally. Do you think that there is any scope for upside in coming months, or is it better to switch out and go to infra sector from the realty space and look at companies like IRB Infra?
I think the best is yet to come. In fact, we are into the good phase of the market rally for the real estate stocks. The better, the best is yet to come for the real estate names, and I would believe that it always makes sense to stick towards quality. So I think if you have already holding Oberoi Realty and Godrej Properties, those two would be classical bets. You can look to add. So if you are okay with adding some bit of more beta, then I think it makes a lot of sense to add to DLF as well at current levels of 396, 400 approximately. These three are ideal candidates of strong appreciation wherever the real estate sector gets into a second phase of a major rally for itself. Lodha and I think Rustomjee is a recently listed name, so I'll skip that. But Lodha on the charts is looking quite average as such. It's consolidating below the 200 moving average at a point when most of the other stocks, the ones which I mentioned specifically, are trading much above their 200 moving average. So that inherently tells you that which is the stock which is the stronger from the pack. So it makes sense to stick towards the stronger names. I would still recommend Oberoi Realty, Godrej Properties as well as DLF from current levels.
Okay, let me continue with the infra space. The next query coming in from Prashant, and Ashish, Prashant is holding two stocks. One is NCC and the other one is Vatek Babak since past 1 year. Going forward, he wants to know the outlook in the past 1 year as well. What's the outlook ahead, because he's sitting at a decent profits in both of these counters?
Yeah, I think this is a good time to book gains in both these stocks because we have seen already good run up. Today there's some negative news in NCC, so the stock is down. But my suggestion will be to exit from NCC looking at these developments. And instead of this, I'll suggest another infrastructure stock which you can look at is IRB Infra, which has started doing pretty well in last few days. And in my view, there's a stock which can give you even 20% kind of upside by March quarter, because decent set of quarterly numbers which we saw from IRB in last quarter, and the stock is getting re-rated. Vatek Babak also, my suggestion will be to exit because I don't see any immediate trigger in this particular stock, and this is now into consolidation phase for quite some time. So instead of this, I'll also recommend either you shift to Oberoi Realty or DLF kind of stocks, which can give you better returns in next 6 months to 1 year time frame.
All right, this one is coming from Sri Kutan and he's writing to us on JK Lakshmi Cement, Kunal. 540 is the buy price. Now he wants to know whether he should, hold the stock or exit from it.
See, I think you can hold on to the stock. It's nearing a retest of the previous high. The previous life high for the stock was around 815 or 16 mark in mid of 2021. So it's coming back towards the retest of this life high. It's just that the stock is going into a very smooth kind of an uptrend. Unless it finds a lot of resistances just around that 800 mark, I think you should stay put. Look to hold on. Maybe closer to that 800 level is where you can look to maybe book out partial profits and look out for some bit of resistances if it emerges at those levels.
All right, but right now it's time for us to slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. A lot of viewer queries are lined up. Meena, Satya, Ajay, I will come back to your queries after this break. So don't go anywhere, viewers. We will continue with the journey of taking your queries after the break.
मुथूट फाइनेंस पेश करते हैं गोल्ड लोन मेला। गोल्ड लोन लेने पर पाए सुनहरा मौका कपल्स के लिए फॉरेन ट्रिप जीतने का और साथ ही जीते कई आकर्षक इनाम। यही नहीं, हर ट्रांजैक्शन पर होगा 24 कैरेट गोल्ड आपके नाम। अपने फ्रेंड्स और फैमिली को रेफर करने पर भी मिलेगा खरा सोना। गोल्ड लोन लेने के लिए आज ही मुथूट फाइनेंस की ब्रांच में आए या फिर घर बैठे बैठे गोल्ड लोन पाए। आज ही कॉल करें 1800-313-1212।
आग को फैलने से रोकना।
I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you asked, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you asked, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you asked, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have
Welcome back to Buy Now, Sell Now. Let's keep it going with the stock queries. And the next query, Ashish, that we have is coming from Kishore Reddy. He's holding 100 shares of Praj Industries at a price of 410. He wants to know whether he should continue holding this stock and what should be the target price he should be looking out for. Any recommendations for averaging out? What's your advice?
Fundamentally, there's nothing wrong with the company. Only thing is, for some time, we haven't seen any rally coming in sugar and allied industry stocks. This is the reason why Praj is also not moving. But fundamentally, I don't see any challenge. If you can hold on this stock for at least 6 months, you will get your buy price back for sure.
Take this query. Let me skip the queue that I have and take this query from Indu, because Indu does not reside in India. She resides somewhere in Europe, and she's woken up especially early to ask this question to you, Ashish. Among Affle India and Uno Minda, which is good for the long term? Also, she wants to know whether they have the capacity to outperform their peers.
Better bet here, if you ask me, instead of Affle, because auto ancillary sector will continue to do well, if you ask me, in next even 3 years time frame, because the way we are selling two-wheelers, three-wheelers, four-wheelers, tractors, companies like Minda Industry, which are the leaders in their segment, will continue to do well. So my first bet is going to be Uno Minda in this. And Affle also, if you want to buy, you can accumulate at this price in a smaller quantity, but larger share you can give it to Uno Minda.
Okay, moving on, the next query coming in from Santosh, and Kunal, he wants to know the technical view on Delta Corp. Is this a good time to enter into fresh buys?
Well, I think the better time to buy Delta Corp would be if the stock crosses that 235 mark. I think I've been maintaining this stance at just around the 230-35 mark is where the bigger breakout zone is for Delta Corp. But the bigger concern for the stock is that whenever it comes closer to this resistance, it comes into F&O ban. So, and the stock slips back again to 210, 215 kind of a range post this F&O ban. So that's the only hindrance to the charts for Delta Corp. But otherwise, I think about 235, it could be a stock which you can consider as a breakout play.
Okay, the next one is coming in from Meena and wants to know about Max Health. Kunal, at what levels can you look to enter this one, and is it a good buy for the next 2 years? Another question is that can we expect 2 times returns because of the huge expansion plans?
So I'm not sure the longer term returns, the chart history is a bit limited for Max Healthcare. But then the last one and a half odd year of chart, steadiness of the way the stock has moved up higher, patterns of lower highs and higher highs and higher lows, consistently bouncing off from the 50-day moving average, all of that is very positive for the stock. So you can continue to hold on.
Okay, the next query coming in from a viewer that has not mentioned his name, but let me take up the query now. The viewer wants to know a take on Embassy of its REIT, and wants to know the take for the next 5 to 10 years. He's holding 1,800 stocks at an average price of 340 rupees per share. What's your view coming in, Ashish?
Okay, can I know what is current price going on for Embassy REIT?
Yes, absolutely. That's around 341, and the viewer entered at 340, close to the current market price.
Okay, close to current price. So if you see the business model wise, this is in direct play to real estate segment where you get a consistent return as well as real estate appreciation over a period of time. But I have seen that instead of Embassy REIT, IRV Investment Trust, which is quoting around 63, 64 rupees. This is doing much better, having much better dividend yield and good appreciation we have seen coming in this particular investment trust in last 1 year time frame. So my suggestion will be instead of Embassy REIT, which is stagnant for quite some time, you put money into IRV Investment Trust.
This one is coming from Madhuri Balaji and wants a technical view on Bajaj Finance. Kunal, A profit in Bajaj Finance has dropped to 20%. She's asking, do you foresee a further drop in Bajaj Finance's profits and switch to another counter? And if another counter, if you're advising, she wants to know which one.
So I would sense that it makes us. I would believe that it makes a sense to switch from Bajaj Finance as of now, because the chart somehow has shown a lot of sluggishness. The stock has underperformed the financial services space. The stock has underperformed the Nifty 50 space in the last 1 month or so for this price correction. A better replacement for Bajaj Finance from a different sector, of course, would be Reliance Industries. I think the stock is still looking extremely strong. It's come back towards the to gain its leadership stance from the entire Nifty 50 pack. And I believe the stock has also confirmed a breakout on the charts as well, about the 2,600, 650 mark. So on all of those fronts, I think Reliance could actually turn out to be a much better bet for for Bajaj Finance.
Okay, the next query coming in from Jay Krishnan, and Kunal, he wants to know a short-term view on Titan. Jay Krishnan has bought 90 shares at a price of 2,700, and if we see, the stock is not that far from its all-time high levels. You see that crossing by in the near term?
Well, I would believe the stock would consolidate for some more time. So ideally, what you should be doing is maybe closer to 2680, 2690 levels for Titan. You can look to exit the stock. That would be closer to your cost price, and then look to buy back again if the stock happens to drop towards 2600 mark. So this 100-point range, 120-point range is what you should try and take advantage of. So that's where I think a short-term strategy could probably be more beneficial for Titan.
Okay, we have a next query coming in from Kumar Guru, and he wants to know about insurance companies in the longer term, Ashish. The P's and price to books are very high for SBI, HDFC and ICICI Bank. Is this the right time to buy? But what's your take on their insurance arms?
Okay, their price earning multiples are high because there are a couple of reasons. First of all, they have shown consistent growth in net premium addition and first premium generation from various policies. So this is how investors are quite interested in this. Second thing is they have shown consistent revenue growth also and bottom line growth also, because good product mix these private companies are having compared to their PSU peer set. But in my view, as the value, you rightly pointed out, the valuations are quite rich. So this now time has come to even look at a stock like LIC also. Which is available at its low, but now gradually some traction we have seen in LIC coming in. So my suggestion will be to look at stocks like LIC along with GIC Reinsurance, which can give you better returns than these richly valued private insurance companies.
Okay, the next question I'm taking it from is from Mayank's, and Ashish, he's entered into Kaynes Technologies, the last week's listing, and Mayank has 50 shares at a price of 780. What's the view coming in on this particular counter? Should he continue? Because after the listing, we have seen the stock cooling off a bit.
Yes, my suggestion will be now to exit from the stock, because whatever the euphoria was there, this gets slightly over unless you get something like Dikaji, which can give you still it's up by 40% from the issue price, but rarely you find such a stock. So my suggestion will be to exit and book gains from this stock.
This was coming from Ajay Kunal, and Ajay has NCC at a price of 85 rupees per share. Now he wants to know whether he should book loss and move the remaining money to Astral, because he's saying that he can hold Astral for the next 1 year. Do you think it makes sense to shift out of NCC right now?
Well, it can be a good decision to shift out of NTC, but I'm not sure that whether buying Astral could actually be a wise decision from here on. I think a better alternative is to go back to large cap names, and specifically the likes of Reliance Industries at current levels. So I think if you're looking to switch, then switch towards Reliance Industries.
Okay, the next query, taking it off Sandeep, and Sandeep is holding 10,000 shares of RVNL from a price of 52, and now he's sitting at a good gains of over 20 rupees per share. Ashish, what's the view coming in? Should he book profits? Seeing the stellar rally we have seen in all of these railway names, what's your advice on that?
No, my suggestion will be to remain invested, because I'm quite bullish as far as next year is concerned in railway, defense and PSU particularly stocks, because now the valuation of these companies are quite realistic, and the way the momentum is shifting and back to these value plays, these stock will continue to do well because they are quite under-owned, if you ask me. So this is the reason why a lot of institutions are also chasing these stocks, not only retail players only. And you'll find a lot of these stocks getting added in portfolios of mutual funds also in this quarter when portfolio disclosures will come. So my suggestion will be to remain invested and like this stock can give you very good returns in coming time.
Right. Let me take this next query, or rather, actually, before we go with the next query, let me actually kickstart the rapid fire then. And let me bring on board this first query that I have. Is coming in from Rajesh Maheshwari, writing to us from Indore. Radico Kehta and Globus Spirits, he has both of these counters. 125 for Radico and Globus is 1,175. Kunal, how does it look over the short term?
Both charts are attractive, but I would believe that it makes sense towards adding United Spirits at current levels.
Okay, Pratham Reddy has Laurus Labs 2,500 shares at a price of 630. Ashish, what's your view after the sharp fall we have seen in the stock?
Yes, my suggestion will be to exit from the stock, and now time has come to do some bargain hunting in Aurobindo Pharma. So better pharma to pharma you can shift.
Okay, Santi has Avanti Feeds holding 36 shares at 403 rupees per share. Kunal, how does it look on the charts, and does it make sense to accumulate some more shares, about 600 shares in this one?
I would not recommend a buy or a hold at current levels as well. If you're already holding, I think it's a good time to exit.
Okay, Raju wants to know from you, Ashish, is this the good time to enter into Nykaa? The stock is already near its all-time low.
No, I'll not still advise Nykaa to buy at this price.
Okay, Satya wants to know about pharma company. Ashish, he already has Sun Pharma, wants another fundamentally strong company to add in the portfolio.
Cipla.
Okay, Swapan has IEX 3,000 shares at a price of 148. Kunal, what's the view?
I think you should definitely look to hold.
Okay, Manjunath has Canara Bank 500 shares, average price 478. Can hold for some more years. Must make sense to add some more. Ashish?
Yeah, they can add, and in fact, any investor who want to buy this particular stock can always accumulate it at 300 odd levels.
Ashish, Raghvendra wants to know, is this a good time to buy IIFL Finance?
I think we'll wait for some correction. 425 will be a good price to buy.
All right, and with that, we come to the end of the rapid fire as well as the query segment. Thank you so much, Kunal, as well as Ashish, for joining us on the show, giving us your take on the auto space as well as resolving the viewer queries. But on that note, viewers, we will slip into a break on this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. There's some more lined up on the other side, so don't go anywhere.
आग को फैलने से रोकना।
Friends,
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
But if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market